Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
Right? Nerd is correct, sir. But I can take that judgment.
Welcome to Maison Perrier.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. How you doing there, Gayton, man? How are you? You're ready for bed if you're honest? I getcha. Hi, Grace, the cosplayer. It's always good to see you. Yeah, I hear you. Someone saying, like, love to be in bed, but then be up super early, and then what, right? Like, I ain't ready to start my day this early. I just got back from a dinner date with a very good friend, a lovely lady. We were bullshitting for about an hour and a half. Yeah, it was good. It's funny, I had a dinner date with this girl tonight. Tomorrow night I've got a dinner date with Muscle Girl. We're going to do some art reference photos for my comic and then get dinner or something. And then Sunday I've got like a air show date with this other girl. So I guess I'm having somewhat of a social life. And the thing is none of these are actually like, the gal I went out with tonight, she's my oldest friend. We've known each other for almost 19 years, but she's married. And Muscle Girl's not interested in anything except friendship, and other gal is a former supervisor of mine, and we're just really good friends. And so it's not like I'm getting laid out of any of these or anything like that, but doesn't hurt to be hanging out with a bunch of hot ladies that are consider me their good friend. No, we're just all. I mean, old friends and just good friends and blah 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 blah. And they're all awesome, but it's just friend stuff. Muscle Girl's the one that I'm kind of more interested in, but she's not in that, and that's fine. That's okay. But yeah, she's gonna do some art modeling for some poses in the comic and some pages coming up, so I'm excited for that. In fact, my friend tonight, she's like, "What the hell did you do to She-Ra in your comic?" I'm like, "Oh, wouldn't you like to know? You have to wait and read it like everyone else." And then I proceeded to tell her exactly everything that's happening in the story. Yeah, I don't think Muscle Girl is lying. That's all right. Time to ink some pages. Or at least this page. Yeah, that was literally just it. Well, she's kind of like the girl I was out with tonight. Like I said, she's married, but we've known each other for 19 years, and she's the one who comes and sits with me at Comic-Con every year. She's going to be there with me this year, and so she's always part of the creative process. We're actually talking about having her come over and visit with me and do some, review some art together, and then even do like a live video interview with her, because she's an artist. She does art stuff. So Grace, you're asking me if I've got a crush. I mean, I guess that's one way to put it. I like this girl, but if it only goes so far, it only goes so far, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be something else. Art dates. Well, yeah, it's going to be kind of fun because Muscle Girls, like I said, is coming over tomorrow. And, she's really shy and quiet and introverted, hasn't done a lot of stuff. And, but I've asked her 2 different times over the last 2 years to art model for me for pages in my book. And she's done stuff for the last book and the book before. And I was like, I'm getting to the end. I didn't want to put any pressure on you, but you interested in doing any more? I've got a couple things we could do for art modeling for my last book I'm working on now. She's like, yeah, let's get together. Let's do it. So I'm like, all right. It's funny because I'm having her art model for She-Ra. But she's only Muscle Girl's only 5 foot 1 inches tall, and maybe 114 pounds at most. She's a tiny, petite little thing, but she built up those muscles in her arms, and so she makes a good art model for anatomy reference and stuff like that. So it's fun. It's it's something I've always wanted to do, and she trusts me, and I'm like, all right, well, let's get together and do this thing. You're taller than her. Well, like I said, she's very petite. 5'1". She's and I'm 6'2", so I kind of tower over her. How tall are you, Grace, the Cross player? Five four. That's not bad. Grace, I want to ask, this is not anything you have to answer, but I like to have a sense, if I can, for some people, if you don't mind saying how old you are. I just like to have an idea of how old the people are that are in the conversation, because, I wouldn't want to inadvertently have a conversation stray into like a weird place when there's someone who's maybe younger than would be ideal for a conversation to go into like a weird direction. I know I probably just made it sound weirder than I mean it to, but it's one thing if I know I'm talking to a 45-year-old dude, or if there's like a 12-year-old kid in the chat, or something to that effect. So I'm just kind of curious, but again, you do not have to share anything if you don't want to. Okay, no worries. I figured I couldn't hurt to ask, but no worries at all. Just get a sense you might be a little younger than some of the others, and I just want to make sure everyone stays appropriate in the conversations, in case I get rid of weirdos anyway, so. No problem, no worries. It does kind of sound like that. Now that you put it that way, I never thought of it that way, Chuck, but yeah, that's actually got a really similar vibe. That's funny. It's probably the best thing about that show. I mean, Batman Beyond was fine. I liked it for the most part, but that intro was like the best thing to come out of it. You love that show? Yeah. I never got into it as much as the regular Batman animated series. And it's not being like there was anything wrong with it. It just didn't quite click with me. Yeah. You know what kind of got me stuck on that, I had a trouble reconciling, Chuck, is that Gotham City went from like a modern day New York City to a hardcore sci-fi not utopian, but like super advanced city in the span of like, what, 4 decades? Like, It felt like too much too quickly. It felt I like the sci-fi setting, but I'm like it felt too advanced. The city would have had to just massive building of these brand new crazy science fiction Star Warsy buildings and structures. And I know that's a dumb way of thinking about it, but I kept being like, the time frame doesn't make sense for the Gotham to change this much in that amount of time. It's dumb on my part, but that's one of the things I'm like, I know it's really dumb, but yeah, super suits like that's fun. The core idea. I thought that Return of the Joker story they did was pretty interesting, especially if you watch the unedited version where it shows the kid actually shoot the Joker. What's up, Kevin? How you doing? No, Chuck, I just barely got home. I got home from work and then I had to get, I had a couple things to do. I had to stop by the post office. And then I just got back from a dinner date with Mega Babe. And I literally got home and sat down and started drawing. So I'm going to try and do that either late tonight or later tonight or tomorrow morning before I have another social engagement later on in the afternoon. Got kind of a busy weekend for once. Yeah, right. Well, you missed me having a conversation. I was hyping it up to be more interesting than it actually is, but I went on a dinner date with a hot lady tonight, and then I've got a date tomorrow with Muscle Girl. That I've put up some videos of her like pumping pallets. She's gonna come over and we're gonna do some art modeling reference for the comic, and then probably go get dinner. And then Sunday I'm gonna be gone all day at an air show with this other gal who asked me to go to the air show. Another former coworker and friend, and she's like, "You're the only person I know that likes jets as much as I do," and she has like VIP tickets. She's like, "I got other people I can ask, but you would actually enjoy it. So do you want to come with?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's go." So I'm going to go watch an air show. They've been flying overhead all day in formation, flying these white F-16 fighters practicing. So I'm really excited. Kevin, social engagement, that's it. I'm out of here. No, it's all fully clothed stuff, unfortunately. But she's art modeled for me in book 4 and 5 for a couple of scenes for She-Ra, and I was like, hey, I gotta. If you want to do it again, and she's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, all right, I got a couple of scenes where it'd be nice to have an art model and blah 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 blah. So I'll probably, if I get what I want out of the photos and can make the artwork look good, Chuck, I would actually get have you do some of those if you wanted to, where it's a drawing but done from reference from Ms. Art Model Girl, just for something a little different. Chuck, you got a few girls art modeled for you too, right? God damn, I've blown through this bottle of ink so fast. I shouldn't be surprised considering how fast I'm working, but good Lord, it's practically empty already. All right, man. Yeah, it'll
This thing? It's what's going on inside of it. If my mother is to do an ulcer like this, it wasn't because this color. You see whenever we're out here, wondering whether it pop up next to the stress of the number on the insides.
Yeah, I know, Kevin. I have social engagements. It's kind of surprising to me too, but since I only basically get every other weekend off, I try to line up things with people and be like, hey, if we should get together, it should be on this weekend because I don't have my kids, so this is when I'm more free. Unfortunately, me and the ex-wife are on really good terms, so she works with me really well. Hi, Courtney. Kevin, you're right. If I start learning from life or keep learning from life, I'm gonna have to stop inventing things, which I do plenty of anyway, but it doesn't have to be about, and I know no one's saying otherwise, but I've learned it doesn't have to be about complete anatomical accuracy. It just has to be close enough to read right and then be exciting as far as I'm concerned. Dan Goodwin, there's the crew. Now everyone's showing up. It's good timing. Scrolling right by. Chuck's got to step out for a minute. Courtney said, do you ever get burnout drawing your comic, or do you always enjoy doing it? Sometimes I get burnout. It's kind of a both situation, Courtney. Do I get burnout drawing the comic? I mean, every time I get a page done, it's just like another step in the process to getting it done, and it's exciting. And so far, I haven't produced anything that I think is absolutely atrocious garbage. I mean, I have redrawn some things, but I do get burnout a little bit on like, I have to go sit down and draw. So it's not that I'm getting burnout on the project. It's just that sit down, draw, sit down, draw, sit down, draw, go, go, go. So I guess it's kind of the same thing, but the comic itself, I've known a lot of people that talk about, like, I've been working on this thing and I got bored of it. And I think that's a matter of discipline. You know, to me, I'm like, every page, every panel, every line is a new opportunity to draw something better than you did before. So I don't get bored that I'm, you know, drawing the same characters over and over, and I'm not drawing punching scenes all the time, but I'm drawing people talking or interacting in a social setting, because every opportunity is one to like make the line work and the storytelling better than before, and it's a learning process. So yeah, I don't get bored of the project, but I do get tired of like, I just don't want to draw tonight, but because I got to get it done, I am making every effort to be here every day. In fact, I find myself doing it on days when my kids are even here, and I kind of feel bad about that. I hope that they understand, but anyway, Grant, what is up? Someone saying wants pizza. Me too. Alicia Henson, hello again. Dan says you get burnout on projects sometimes, and it's more you just need a vacation from the daily process. Yeah. Yes, Courtney. Yeah, like Grant saying, towards the end, I want whatever project I'm working on to be done. Yeah, it's so close to being done, and I can't wait to hold this thing in my hand and be like, I come up with this idea years ago, and now I'm holding all 6 volumes. Not that I intended it to be this big, but it just kind of became what it is. But I can now let people read it. I have finally created an entire giant comic story that, with at the risk of sounding egotistical, but for me it's my masterpiece so far. It's the best thing I've ever done, whether it's good by whatever kind of measure a person wants to put it up against. It's the best thing I've ever done, and I saw it to completion, and I can't wait for people to read it and tell me what they think, because I think I've come up with something that's at least reasonably entertaining. So yeah, it is very motivating to just be working on the project. And then honestly, doing these live streams and having all you guys to talk to, you guys kind of keep me motivated. The conversations and the sharing of art and projects and humor and back and forth. That is surprisingly motivating and inspirational to me in a way I did not expect at all. Courtney, ultimate debate, pineapple on pizza. You know, there was a time when I was much younger, I would have told you pineapple on pizza is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life. But then I just randomly tried it one time, some Hawaiian pizza with ham and pineapple. I was like, sweet and salty together. That should not work. But oh my Lord, does it. It's not my default thing to get, but if it's there, I will absolutely have it. Thanks, Patrick. Oil lubricates the heart to keep it beating smoothly. Yeah, Xeno Goku. I remember years ago I was hanging out with a friend in a break room at an old job, and she's sitting there dipping her French fries into her chocolate frosty at work. I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? And she's like, you've never tried this? I'm like, God, I'm not stupid. And then like a couple days later, I did try it. I was like, oh, okay, that's actually, yeah, all right. I got a lot to learn. I just wouldn't think that salty and sweet should go together like that, but you never know till you try. You manage the line of brick over pizza restaurant? Someone's drunk. He wishes. Me too. I wish I was drunk too. I actually don't, but I get drunk so rarely. When I do, I'm a giggler. And borderline inappropriate, depending on who I'm with. And by borderline, I mean extremely inappropriate. I knew you were going to say that, Courtney. It's not impossible to imagine. And Chuck has moved beyond that time. Yeah, I should too. That's what I was saying. I do it so rarely. It's very rare when I do. If I do it twice a year, that's kind of normal. Dan, remind me not to drink with you. No, Dan, that's the best time. The talker, the crier, the happy guy, the blackout, right? So everyone can drink along in the Discord. Well, if I do it again, I'll definitely announce it ahead of time. Because, yeah, the Discord didn't exist when that first one happened. Me and my brother would have to come up with something fun to actually review or be able to talk stupid shit about. I don't know what that would be. It's your cross to bear. Oh, dude, Kevin, you're funny, man. You're a funny mother effer. That's great. I will have a shot for all those who can't or won't. Nothing says I'm not drunk yet, like riding your horse off a cliff. Yeah, Kevin, I like your sense of humor, man. You're always cracking me up, dude. For real. Oh, Courtney, you're talking about this top panel? Um, yeah, that's what I wanted to have happen, because in the previous page, you know, she's gone and found, you know, this is our character, that's Shira there with the half-melted face and arm, and she's grabbing onto this girl here, the one who's kind of behind everything and caused so much death and destruction, and Shira's always been the kind and level-headed one throughout the entire story, but now such horrible shit has happened. I wanted to show her going insane, like she's crossed the threshold. She's gone into insanity, which is why in this panel, she's threatening, she's going to snap this girl's neck. She's going to kill her. And He-Man is coming to try and talk her down. It's like, don't cross that line, you can never go back kind of thing. So I'm trying to get that insanity, that rage. She's so angry and heartbroken and devastated, so I wanted it to look crazy. That's the hope, and I'm hoping that for people who've read my book, that I've earned it, like, because she's been in the book since book 2, and in this books 4, 5, and 6, she's become not the main character, but one of the absolute main characters, and her perspective is key, and she's been trying to be the level-headed, good one, and then like you're saying, like, yeah, she just snaps, and she's gonna snap someone's head off. So yeah. Dan, you're saying the emotion I'm going for is really coming through. You're trying to tell something similar now, how hard it is. Yeah, I mean, again, a lot of this is all kind of first-time experience in, like, the long-form storytelling of this kind of, like, storyline and emotion, and so it's kind of my first real serious attempt at it. So I hope that it reads the way I intend it to when it's all said and done. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Chuck. I mean, there's such a thing as, like, quote unquote bad art that has its charm and you're still kind of into it, even though it technically might not be what it could be. But if it's just, I mean, if it's just embarrassingly bad, the story would have to be unbelievably engaging, which is not impossible, but yeah. The art's got to grab me in the first place. I want to even pick it up, you know? Chuck's dropped books because he changed inkers. That is a dedicated man. Let's fuck this whole thing up. But I get it. You're like, this doesn't look the way I want it to look. Why am I going to keep spending this money? Mark. Yeah, you're right. That's one thing I was going to say too, Chuck, because there's so much stuff out there. You know, and you're lucky if you're finding a bunch of stuff that you like, but it's like, I can't keep buying this if the art isn't going to keep me interested, or, you know. Mark, you say you think everyone in comics has that missed a common issue for a long time type deal. Yeah, like the one up today. Today? Witchblade? Was it today? I can't keep them straight anymore. But yeah, that is Witchblade issue 5. I missed that thing, and I just got it just a couple days ago. Same thing with Planetary number 3. That Facebook page I found has been extremely lucrative in terms of finding me stuff that I've never had or wanted to find. It's also been getting a lot of money out of me. Not a lot. They're not charging a huge amount of money, but still. Yeah, that's funny, Courtney, that you say that, because I do start thinking about that. It's like, well, if I'm spending some money to get these comics, I put them on the channel. If they do well-ish, they kind of end up paying for themselves in a way, in terms of like ad revenue later. So I've thought about that. That's how I justify it. M4WW, am I good at drawing fish? Negative, I am not good at drawing fish. Chuck, you're selling your nice guitar and your big amp? Well, let me tell Jessica, because she might be interested. She likes her guitars, and her husband plays too. Kevin Hall, what if my magnum opus, Chuck and Rob, crudely drawn man, and his sidekick, Kid Scribble, as they fight their mortal foe, the Doodler? There you go. Do you like fish sticks? Yeah, I see. Yeah, this little room that I'm in, Chuck, is this little tiny little room that's getting a little bit more cluttered the more I kind of keep bringing in comics and art books, and it's not it's not. I see these other artists post up their art rooms. It's big, giant, vast space. I'm like, oh my god, I would die for that. But I gotta, yeah, that's a part of my struggle is I gotta clear out some space to set up that scanner. So. Um, It'll work. It's just gonna. It's not like I just gonna pop it out of the box and plug it in and go. I gotta like do some art room rearrangement, which is fine. It's actually perfect. It's a good size, generally speaking. But if I didn't have the YouTube channel going, I wouldn't have all these comics in here, and there'd be actually a lot more space. It'd be a lot more fun. But good lord. I know there's going to be a time in my life, way in the future, where I'm going to look back on these moments I'm doing right now, when I was sitting here drawing, chatting with people, doing the YouTube thing, creating these books, and I'll be like, God damn, was I having fun? You know, and I might be looking back going, because I'm not able to do it anymore, or life has changed, or existence has changed, and, you know, I'm trying to like pay attention to the fact that I'm kind of in this little magical space where I'm creating, it's kind of working, I'm having fun, I'm making a thing, I'm doing kind of what I always wished I was doing all my life in a way. It's like, enjoy it while you got it, while the moment's here, right? Everyone says that. Time is a companion that reminds us to enjoy every moment because it'll never come again. But hopefully I'll be drawing comics for until I frickin' die, and hopefully I'll live a long life. Rob's smelling roses over there. You got to stop and smell the roses. Yeah, that's, you know, I've been having those kind of thoughts about all kinds of stuff in my life recently because, again, I'm starting to feel my age a little bit. Like I said, I'm 47. I'm only 2.5 years away from 50. And I got little boys. They're 12 and 8. But, God, it wasn't that long ago that they were babies in my arms. And, you know, it's not going to be long before they're teenagers and then young men. And just sometimes it feels like time is taking forever and everything's going to kind of be the same forever, and then suddenly you're like, oh wait, shit is flying by, get to work. I even at a point where I've started looking at some like younger coworkers that I know that are struggling with stuff, and like the part of me that's a father starts kind of thinking about the rough time that some of these people I know are having, because like there's this kid I work with, he's just a 20-year-old kid, and he's kind of struggling and not doing what he should do, but I found out his home life kind of sucks and he doesn't have a father, and he kind of had to pick up the role as the adult for his mom and his 13-year-old sister, and they've been close to not having a place to stay. And I just suddenly went from being kind of pissed at the guy to feeling bad for the guy and trying to understand the rough situation that he's in. So I don't know, I'm turning into a weird old man over here. Yeah, Chuck. I've had that thought. So, like when I was a kid, summer vacation seemed like an eternity, and now my kids go on summer vacation, and it's like 2.5 months, and they're like, "All right, it's time to go back to school." I'm like, "Wait, you just what?" Time is flying. But as a kid, yeah, it just seemed to go on forever. School seemed to take 7 years every freaking grade. It's just unbelievable. And that's kind of what I've tried to do, Dan. Like, I was talking to another buddy, my actual direct supervisor, and he's about my same age, and he's got kids the same age as me. And I said, the dad part of me starts coming out, and I want this guy, I want to help him. Like, I don't want to say it to him, but I'm like, there's part of me that kind of wants to like encourage him and be like, hey, you're a badass for, you know, stepping up and helping your mom and your sister when you should be out kind of having fun in life, but you don't get the opportunity to do that. Just want to. He was even telling me on Father's Day, he's like, yeah, I tried to reach out to my dad, but he ignored me. He didn't say anything. He's like, oh, well, it's just life. It just sucks. Whatever. It's fine. And I was like, yeah, it's not fine, man. Yeah, Chuck, for 12 years of school, now 12 years is just like nothing. You're so right. Yeah, as a kid, you were basically told where you were told to go where you were told: school, church, vacations, after school activities. Yeah. I don't know. I just think I've been a lucky guy. A couple of years ago, when I first got divorced, I never thought that finding this kind of level of peace and contentment was ever going to be possible. But it's like, I'm all right. I'm doing okay. Not to get all weird and serious on everybody for a minute suddenly, but anyway, back to the fun. Somebody tell a fart joke. You know why God invented women, right? Um, I'm trying to think if I could read this. There's a G.I. Joe villain named Rip It. One G.I. Joe character's name is Skid Mark. Why did God invent women, Chuck? Oh. Kevin, you don't need this existential dread. You're going to resubscribe just so you can unsubscribe harder. Oh, Chuck, you couldn't teach the sheep to cook. Oh, man. now. Like, hi guys, what are you talking about? I think I'm just gonna go back to normal life. I've been a bad boy. Oh, I'm surrounded by a bunch of wise asses, and I love it. Oh. You guys are funny. What do you mean the sheep were always secretly super intelligent, albeit delicious, and now have turned against us? Secretly super intelligent, albeit delicious. Oh my god. Oh. See, that's where I'm deficient. Is like, I've always wanted to like write humor, but I don't think I'm funny, and I don't know how to come up with funny stuff. And you guys are just brainstorming genius over here. What would be the twist ending? Yeah, that's the thing. If it's Shamalama Ding Dong that's directing it, what would be the twist ending? What a twist! This time it's humans who are on the lam. This is writing itself, you guys. This is like a banger. Chuck liked that one, so did I, right? This is, we should like do like a mock-up, like single piece of artwork, like a movie poster, like a Drew Struzan type shit with all these phrases over it or something like that. This is not the first like clever idea that has been discussed on the channel here. This time, it's the humans who are on the lam. Oh, man. Dan says we should make an anthology comic. I'm seeing a Sheepdog Looney Tunes type. Yeah, Dan, you'd be the perfect artist for that too. Because you could do like a Looney Tunes, I can't draw cartoony at all. Chuck, you'd love to work on a comedy type strip. Everything you've ever done has been pretty deadly serious. Yeah, and that's me too, and that's by choice because, like I said, I just, like, I'll come up with an idea that I think is funny in my own head, but then whenever I try to write it down, it just suddenly loses that spontaneity of what made it funny. I'm like, no one else will think it's funny. It was only funny in that one moment, in that one space, in that one time. So I'm always marveling at people who are funny and legitimately like write comedy. That's hard. I've said it before, and I think it's a pretty commonly understood thing that you have to be smart to be funny. Because people who are not intelligent are not funny. Because they don't have any observational skills to see what's going on in the world and talk about it in a way that makes it entertaining. He said hard on. You know, Dan, I think that's a totally a doable kind of thing. If you start it out as funny and people are invested in it, but then you start making it like a story that people get invested in, then you've kind of got like, you've got both things going for you. You know? Like I was here for the humor, but he's also got me invested in these characters. Like, something I want to know more about what they're doing. Bonus points if you can get people to feel bad for laughing earlier in the series, right? Like, oh, you were laughing before, but now it's suddenly, now that you know what this character's gone through. You know, me and my buddies at work, because we work at Home Depot, so we're always dealing with, like, because I work in the receiving department, with stuff that people return and send back or is broken and garbage. So we started piecing together, like, I think that there's a untapped, like, zombie movie where people are trapped in like a Home Depot, and all they have to fight the zombies off with, we don't get guns and flamethrowers, we got all the tools on the shelves, and we're talking about like gardening tools and shears and things like that. And then we start talking about, we duct tape chainsaws to the ends of the forklift and then be like going down the aisles, moving side to side with the chainsaws, just sawing zombies in half. It's just like a cheap bullshit Roger Corman type horror movie, but it's set in a hardware store. And all you can use is the shit on the shelves. And we keep finding ourselves like, oh, this would be perfect for the zombie movie. Look at this ridiculous tool. They did The Watch, wasn't zombies, but they're making a stand from hardware store. And I wouldn't be surprised if something similar is out there. Everything's been kind of done, but we're kind of like hoping the idea would be like best if like funny, like not like a deadly serious movie, but like what crazy ridiculous, kind of like if anybody watched Robert Rodriguez' Planet Terror, where it kind of like had the vibe of serious, but it was so over the top, ridiculous, funny. That's kind of what I was thinking of. But we're just always getting these weird tools in our hands, like it's like a little mini chainsaw on top of a 10-foot long pole, so you can prune your trees at the top. I'm like, well, we can make this do something. See, IMD describes it as for a man who form a neighborhood watch group as a way to get out of their day-to-day or family routines, find themselves defending the earth from an alien invasion. Kevin says, you had me at 4 men. Planet Terror. Yeah, see, Chuck, Planet Terror, I love that movie. I saw that as a double feature. The Grindhouse with the Tarantino, the fucking race car one, whatever it was called. Death Proof. Man, we were all having so much fun. That Planet Terror was so ridiculously, like, so hilarious. It was so pitch perfect in tone. Yeah, Death Proof, yeah. I'm like, what the hell was the name of that goddamn... I think the funniest part in that entire Planet Terror is when Oh yeah, it was right in the middle of the movie, and they're at the barbecue joint place, and the heroic guy and Rose McGowan, they get together and have their little sex scene, and it's all like cheesy and ridiculous, and then the film grain goes bad, and it's like the film breaks, and then it says missing scene. So the next scene that turns on is that fucking barbecue place on fire, just raging. Like there's a major part of the story that you don't get to see. And it's just suddenly burning. I laughed until I cried when they did that. I'm like, that is so perfect. It's so ridiculous. Oh my God. Now I want to watch that movie. It's been a minute. Used to happen like old drive-in movies all the time. I've been to a couple drive-ins, but I fortunately never had to experience that. I was at a regular movie one time we were watching Castaway, and the film projector ate the reel right in the middle of the movie. I didn't think that was possible. I thought that was all old-timey shit, but it ate the film on that Castaway movie. The film would just mess up and they just restart wherever and you had to figure it out. You're like, yeah, that's a unique viewing experience. I guess it makes sense where Rodriguez and Tarantino come up with these funny ideas that they put in their movies like that. Oh, in the Shawshank Redemption? Yeah, there's a lot you can't edit out of that movie, and then you'd lose context for. Stupid TV edits. Thanksgiving. White meat, dark meat, all will be carved. Your parents took you to very inappropriate movies in the 70s drive-ins. That's awesome. Like, I got to see all kinds of shit I probably shouldn't have when I was younger, and I'm like, this helped develop my character and my understanding of life. Maybe that's skewed, but that's some of my favorite stuff. I can't wait to start showing fucked up shit to my own kids, but they gotta be a little older. 8 and 12 is... I still want them to be children. What's up, D-Man? You watching Boys in the Hood on Tubi? Good no TV edits. Kevin, I learned all I need to know from a few movies I had as a kid. T2, brilliant. Gremlins 2, brilliant. Jungle Book, like, I assume the animated one. I've actually never seen that all the way through, but Secret of Nim, love that movie. I've heard of Flesh Gordon. I've never seen it. Cinemax, it's like a Skinemax, as some people call it. Oh, those good times when I was younger and we had cable and my parents were gone or something like that. They're like, don't watch the late night movies. I'll kill you. I'm like, okay, Dad, I won't. And then I was like, oh my God. What is this show, The Red Shoe Diaries? What are they doing? You saw that when you were 10? I need to check it out to see what that would be like for a 10-year-old to watch that. That's funny, man. Dad had you riding a motorcycle. Like you were riding the motorcycle like solo, Chuck? Or just riding on the motorcycle? That'd be awesome. I took my 2-year-old out on a 4-wheeler, and he loved it once he understood that we were moving and driving. He didn't like the sounds, but the movement he loved. But man, did I have a death grip around his body. He's sitting in front of me going real slow, holding on to him. You were riding a Honda 70 dirt bike when you were 8. You know what? That's how childhood should be. We should be outside doing cool shit that's theoretically dangerous. Or not even theoretically, it is dangerous, but you learn how to like handle shit better. That's why there's so many soft-ass weirdos these days, because everyone stays inside and watches Minecraft. Oh, I just described my own kids. Fuck. Yeah, Kevin, Nim is an absolute masterpiece, so atmospheric. Yeah. I remember watching it as a kid. It felt so serious and so intense and dark, and I'm like, it's just a cartoon, but man, Disney cartoons are not like this Secret of Nim shit. Man, I love it to this day. It's so great. I should call my comics channel I Got More Comics Than a Motherfucker. That's fair one, D-Man. Unlicensed brand manager. I need to start listening to you, sir. Oh, man. The most serious tone Disney cartoon was The Black Cauldron. I've seen it once, like 1,000 years ago. I don't remember anything, but I know a lot of people that say really good things about it. Grace, the cosplayer, is back. If some kids eat dirt, there's also soda that tastes like dirt. That's true. Hunchback had some pretty sweet stuff. Visions of Hell. I remember the first time I saw that heavy metal cartoon. I'm like, what is this? How can a cartoon? Why is this chick running around, slowly strutting around undressed and slowly getting dressed? And what is going on? How is this allowed in a cartoon? Your mom took you to see that at your request when you were 13. What, the Black Cauldron? Grace, you say you're thinking about making a set of miniature wings from a movie, maybe life-sized? Oh, heavy metal, right, duh, sorry. So your parents took you. Did they know what it was going to be? Were they like horrified when they're like, what is going on? They're like, God damn it, son, why did you tell us to take you to this movie? Or they like, whatever, it's fine. Kevin, there's multiple things going on. I've already seen an R-rated CGI movie. It was called, what was that stupid show about food that like Seth Rogen did? Where it was about a hot dog and a hot dog bun that fell in love. Sausage Party. Thank you. God, I can't think of anything. I gotta be honest, I laughed at a lot of parts in that Sausage Party. It's stupid. It is really stupid, but I love that they just went all out on it. Like, they just were like, let's do it effed up. Yeah. Chuck says your mom used to buy you heavy metal every month. She got me a sub to Playboy when I was 15. She was a pretty cool mom. It sounds like it, brother. Like, I saw like a cheap plastic flag that you could buy that it was like the skull and crossbones. What's the term for that thing besides skull? Anyway. I thought it would have been the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life. Like a pirate flag. And my mom was like, no, I don't like that. It's too dark. I don't want my boys having things like that in their room. My dad was going to do it. Then mom was like, no. So I'm like, Mom, you know I'm just going to turn into a weirdo freak in the future if you don't let me experience this stuff as a kid, right? Beowulf. You know, I was just rewatching parts of that Beowulf movie. God, I forgot that the big centerpiece fight in that tavern had the main character Beowulf running around completely naked. I'm like, I understand if that's how the fable is, but this is just kind of embarrassing. Yeah, Sausage Party sucked, but the little food orgy at the end, I gotta tell you, I was laughing hard. Just because they went for it. I'm like, respect, guys. You don't see R-rated stuff like this, just like you're saying. They did it, so I'm like, all right. I just have to make sure my kids don't run across it and be like, Dad, can you watch this? When you're a man, son, when you're a man. Yeah, I know Angelina Jolie had that scene as Grendel's mother, and that design and that whole scene, that was probably the best thing in the whole movie, was the Angelina Jolie animation. And even though she said later that she didn't realize her figure would be so nude, she felt kind of exposed. If I can't appreciate... Yeah, Chuck, you gotta lose the pants so I can wag it around. It would be distraction, right? Like, how'd you defeat the monster? Well, I took my clothes off, and he was in shock at the size of the old python. Like, was he in shock because it was so big or so small? And be like, that's none of your damn concern. All that matters is that I won the battle. So... give me a beer and a winch. If I can't appreciate detailed groundbreaking dong simulation, what are we even doing here? Remember that scene in This Is the End, where all those actors just played themselves and it was like the apocalypse, and there was a giant demon monster at the end, and he had his giant like flaming lava cock flailing around, and then a beam from heaven came down and split him in half and sheared it right off and sent it flying to the ground. He's trying to say Beowulf is what he was trying to say, D-Man. Instead of Better Wolf, he's probably doing talk to text, but Better Wolf probably meant to be Beowulf, like the fable. Nothing funnier than a preschooler with the foul mouth, right? I mean, one time I found out from my wife secondhand that my youngest boy told her to fuck off. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get him. But inside I was kind of like, I don't want to say proud of him, but he told his mom to fuck off. I'm like, I'm surprised she didn't kill him. But two, I was like, son, you got some balls. Your mom's going to kill you, but I kind of respect the game, son. Chuck knows what's up. He told me the secret to better drawing is to do it pantsless. I told him, way ahead of you, see? How do you know I'm not sitting here wearing nothing right now? Just flailing about. God, I was talking earlier about being concerned about the type of conversation that might be happening if certain people are in the chat that are younger. Now here I'm sitting just encouraging it. Remember that scene with the guy's dick? Courtney, my mom would have beat my ass. Yeah, and you know, I told him when I talked to my son, I'm like, you do not talk to your mom that way. You do not talk to anybody that way. But silently inside, I was like, oh, I already know that my little 9-year-old son's gonna be a foul-mouthed little cusser. I can see him like faking the cuss words already. I'm like, ugh, it's all right. If cussing is the worst thing that comes out of my little boy, I'll actually be fine. I want him to just be a good man. But yeah, my mom wouldn't have killed me. She would have went and told my dad, and my dad would have fucking obliterated me. So we all maintained respect that way. Won't be as funny when he gets bold enough to lay it on you, though, right, Chuck? If the discussion on this channel is enough to set them astray, they were going bad. That's true. Dan, you cuss around your boys. They know when and where. That's the thing. It's all about the right moment. That's what I want them to know. It's not appropriate when you're over at your mom's house. But over here with Daddy, depending on the situation, we keep it contained to ourselves. You guys probably heard me tell the tale of when my older brother, his little boy, came to him and asked him if it was bad to say the M word, like the letter M. But like how there's the F word and all that stuff. And my brother's like, well, what's the M word? And he said his little boy was kind of like, well, you know, like sheepishly, like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. So my brother's like, it's okay, you can say it this one time so I know what it is. What's the M word? And his little boy is like, motherfucker. He's like, oh, yeah, son, that's a very bad one. And to me, that's just like the funniest, like most sweetest little innocent little thing ever. Like a little boy doesn't know, or a little girl, either way. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, you're 100% right, Mark. How a man treats his mother is a good signal of how he would treat a, future relationship. Yeah, and that's why I supported his mom when she told me, and then I told my son, I'm like, you do not ever talk like that. But my little boy does have he loses his temper pretty quick. He's a little fighter. Some kid had flipped you off on the bus. Yeah, and if you don't know what it means, you're like, what's that? So you go home and show your mom. Mom, what's this? Where did you see that? My friend's Billy at school. You'll never hang out with Billy ever again. Kevin B. Hall, lava monster dong crashes through the roof. Is it now an appropriate time for you colorful language, Dad? Right. Can I use one of those colorful metaphors we discussed, Father? I'm like, yes, son. Now would be the best time. Give it your best shot. What do you got? I've never heard that one, Chuck. Reminds me of that Saturday Night Live sketch with Eddie Murphy doing Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. Go up to your mom and say, bitch, I'll wait. Did mommy smack you? And you said it right. I gotta look that up now. That sounds hilarious, dude. The bar of soap was out of fashion when your mommy caught you cussing? The thing was, me and my older brother were able to keep our cussing, like we didn't let our parents hear it, but I remember when we were in junior high, one day we made a pact that we were allowed to cuss around each other, and we would tattle on each other. It's an important moment in a young man's life with your siblings. That's funny, Chuck. I'm gonna look it up. Buckwheat sings. All right, Chuck. Well, thank you for stopping in, man. We had some fun conversations today. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, thank you. D-Man lives in the hood, so he can use the N-word a lot. He's allowed. He gets to do that. What up, my ninja? Dan, you see you made prank calls and cussed, recorded on a tape. The other side was rocking music. It flipped to the cussing side during the car ride with your mom. Oh, that's funny, dude. Courtney, you learned that word at school and decided it'd be a great time to ask your mom what it meant when you're at church. You know, I would like to think that any decent parent would understand, like, my kid doesn't know what this is. They've never heard it, and then maybe it's best that they didn't know what it was. And now that they've heard it, now that they've asked, now you get to explain to them some of the unfortunate realities of life they may not know. Mom, what does this word mean? She's like, what the shh, shh. We're listening to, listen to this scripture. Just shush. We'll talk later at home. No, but Mom, really? Holy water starts to boil. Who is the dirty, impure child, the unclean child in my house? Courtney's sitting there like, I don't think it's me. Unclean. That's why it's fun, Mark. Sometimes there just aren't words that carry the same weight as motherfucker. Try as I might, darn it all just doesn't carry the same kind of punch for me. Yeah, it's not just a church, it's a Mormon church. Yeah. LSD, not that kind of church. The Latter-day Saints. They're mostly a good bunch of folks. Some of my best friends. I mean, you live in Utah, you have to have friends that are, you know, you gotta have at least one or two. Hell, even Jessica is basically Mormon. She just doesn't adhere to it like hardcore, stringently. It's just like the basis of her faith. I respect that. Yeah, or the LSD church be like, well, I've never done drugs, so I don't know how you do those type of drugs. Is that a thing you smoke? I don't know anything. Ho's gotta eat too? What the fuck? Kevin B. Hall. Last of the Mohicans. Remake it with cats. Oh my god, you're not kidding. People would say that you're insulting the poor Native Americans by making them into cats, but... Courtney says, currently lining and drawing and watching your live is inspiring me to do more details and cross-hatching. Well, do it, Courtney. Branch out and give it a shot. If it's not like your normal thing, you know. It is one of those things where it can ruin a thing or it can add a whole new layer to it that you just weren't expecting until you just kind of let loose one time and just went crazy. I've kind of leaned into it a little bit more because Chuck has talked about how he's really good at doing textures, and when I see the stuff that he does, I'm like, I want more textures, more gradients, more lines, and see how it comes out. He's Indian. Dot. You can do it. You should play an Indian feather. That'll blow people's mind. That's illegal, but you're not kidding, man. You got it right. People would be confused. I don't know how to rage. Like, he must be someone who's oppressed, probably, I guess. But he's also culturally appropriating. I don't know what to do. Paint's face slightly darker. There you go. Problem solved. Are you talking about the new movie, Kevin, or the old Furiosa? The new one. Okay, I've heard it was good, even though it died a horrible slow death at the theater, which is unfortunate, but yeah, Fury Road. I think it's kind of unfortunate that the new one didn't do very well, because then again, I haven't seen it, but I heard it was good. And I would just like to see some of these movies that are different than the standard crap that keeps tanking, and you want to see it do well, so they make more stuff that's different. And well, that's why I'm making my comic here, there, D-Man. That is one reason. I'm making the kind of thing that I want to see. Because you're right, can't depend on them. On occasion, we get lucky and something good comes out. And we're like, all right, well, thank you. We were just spoiled for so long, in my opinion. There was so much good stuff coming out all the time growing up, I swear. And now it's like, what happened to all the good shit? No, I mean, the target audience, I still feel like they're making garbage, though. I still want to see good, engaging movies and stuff like that, and I don't know. I mean, I'm an unabashed fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe when it was bumping right before Endgame hit and ended everything. I thought that stuff was just... It's a great time. And even though there's varying degrees of quality in all of them, I'm like, this is a great bunch of movies. And then suddenly they just fell apart. Just instantly, they boom, done. Fell apart. It's like, what'd you guys do? What happened? I kind of believe you, Kevin. We all need to just throw you cash and just wait and see what you come up with. You're not the visionary we deserve. You're the visionary we need. Comely lasses of virtue true. How many broads do I get? jaded like a motherfucker. Yeah, that's true. Vote Quimby. Yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I got that reference. Or at least you got mine. It's not a bad way to spend a day, Mark. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to stay at home and play video games. I can't make it. I'm shocked at how many people I keep running into that don't like to watch fireworks anymore. They're like, oh, they're loud. I don't know, they're just kind of dumb. I don't like fireworks. I'm like, are you kidding? Giant fiery explosions in the sky? What the hell happened to everybody? Everyone grow up or something? See? You are in good company, D-Man. We are in good company with you. I don't know. See, I just like to go see the fireworks that everyone, like the big ones. Where you just go park your car at a park and bring some drinks and watch them fire those big loud explosions and all the cool colors and stuff. It's good times. I do get that dogs go crazy with them, but I don't got any dogs, so. Fireworks in Central Florida is like a war zone, and it's amazing. I just like it because like it's a once a year kind of thing, and it's time to go see the fireworks. You only get to see it once a year. Guess I'm weird that way. I know, you see one firework, you've seen them all. I guess that's true, but it's like saying you banged one girl, you banged them all. Like, no, I still like to bang. It's wildly inappropriate conversation. Alright, I think I'm working the shit out of this figure. I'm just going too crazy. I need to stop. Oh, yeah, twice a year. You're right. New Year's, I forget. See? Oh, we like you, D-Man. Robert Crumb Graphomania. Just putting marks on a page. I mean, it can, if you know what you're doing, it can look amazing. I'm not saying that's me. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going that route, but sometimes I'm like, you're doing something awesome, it's awesome, and then you took it too far and now it's all fucked up. So it's about knowing when to stop. So I keep going, right there, and stop. And you got the perfect kind of situation. Oh no, I took it too far. I'll probably just end up sitting around doing nothing anyway. On the 4th of July, it's a Thursday, right? I gotta be working Friday anyway. No rest for the weary, huh? Yeah, it's true. I haven't called in sick to my job once in the last 5 years. My position I'm in, I kind of can't. It kind of fucks everyone else. Yeah, I like that, Dan. It's more about the cookout and fireworks. Like, that's what I like. Like, you get together, we grill some food, we watch a show, we laugh, we talk, we have a good time. It's an adventure, it's fun. Especially if you got kids and they're enjoying it. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. I think I might need to call it a night. I didn't quite get through an entire page here, but that's all right. I'll just have to put in some late night effort tomorrow. Let's see if Jessica's able to join tomorrow night. Because I am going on a date, but I should be back in time. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks, Dan, D-Man, Mark, Kevin, Courtney. I don't know if you're still there, but time for me to wrap this up. I got 3 hot dates with 3 different chicks. I went on one tonight, one tomorrow, and one with a different lady on Sunday. It's good times for Rob. There will be video or pictures about them all. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.